Hey guys, welcome back to this week's Dark Avenger comic book review. I forgot to mention this. Midtown actually had these things on sale. There were a lot of patches on sale, but unfortunately at $5 a pop, I only grabbed two. I wanted to grab three, but I couldn't afford the third one. Got Michael a nice little Punisher one.
Looks nice.
And I got me a classic, not classic, a modern time X-Men patch. I didn't get the classic. The classic was the third one, which I actually opted out of. Probably going to put them on my wall somewhere because I don't sew patches on my clothes. Anyway, let's get into DC Comics now. Two FlashPoint comics came out this week, concluding Wonder Woman and the Furies, number 3, and Abin Green Lantern, number 3, part 3 of 3. Gonna be honest, out of the two, the best one was Abin. This basically gave you... You done? This basically gave you the history, bringing you up to date with what's going on right now, what was left off at the Pendulum issue 5 of the FlashPoint series. This issue, on the other hand, had its up point. In the end of this issue, it turns out that Abin becomes, if Flashpoint ever did happen, Abin would become the Earth's White Lantern. He dies and comes back as a White Lantern, and he's now trying to save the world. And it says the end. So, oh, and also for those of you people who are wondering about Wonder Woman, that was the original artwork. The one on the bottom is what they're changing it to. It turns out Wonder Woman is gonna have pants. For those of you who care, I really don't care that they changed their mind last minute and gave her pants. It doesn't affect me at all. The only person that's reading Wonder Woman is Amber, and I don't even think Amber's going to be reading it after the first issue. To be honest, I was pumped up for Flashpoint a year back from now, but now that I see what Flashpoint is going to do, Flashpoint's great if they were going to go right back to the original universe. But because this is going to change the entire DC universe, I don't like Flashpoint anymore. I really don't. I really have no liking for it anymore. It's causing more problems, and it's going to suck harder after this happens. I don't understand why DC would do this. I still don't. A lot of people say give it a chance. I am, and I have experiments going on now with Joe joining us with two comics also. Joe's going to be doing Blue Beetle and the Savage Hawkman. I'm being honest though. Even though we're doing this experimenting, I don't like that everything is basically over. The last issue of Superman came out last week. That's it. That's the end of the classic Superman and the modern day Superman in Superman. Supergirl and Superboy conclude this week, and the Green Lantern Corps concluded this week. We're going to be reviewing those in a few seconds, and then it goes into the new universe where it's going to be new costumes and a new story. And I think that it was a bad move. I think that the universe, and by universe I mean by the people that DC thinks need a reboot, because Batman and Green Lantern are not getting rebooted. Their series is still going on. The only thing they're getting is a renumbering. I think it's wrong. And there are series that are ending, like Superman, Batman, Red Robin, Booster Gold, all of those series, and Sinister Six, which were all good. I don't review Sinister Six, but a lot of people love Sinister Six. This reboot was unnecessary. I'm sorry. In my opinion, this reboot was unnecessary. Supergirl 67, concluding with Dr. Ivo. Supergirl basically knocks the crap out of him, long story short. And she has this little love interest with this guy that we're never going to see really develop because it's the end. And that's basically it. This story, like I said, was a very lackluster story. Very caca way to put Supergirl out, if you ask me. It wasn't really... It was basically she goes undercover, then she finds out it's Dr. Ivo. It's kind of like the Scooby-Doo, only it's not hauntings. They're trying to find missing students. And there's a little bit of a background story, but nothing that'll really keep you interested. So,
but for suppose for now, we quote unquote, it's not.
Supergirl went out with a bit of a instead of a, but one of the weaker. This is the last issue of Supergirl that's going to have the number 60 on it. Now we're going to go back with that. Another issue that's going to be renumbered soon, Green Lantern Corps number 63, which says goodbye Green Lantern Corps. It's several stories. There's like about, I believe, 4 chapters. The first chapter is about Boudica, what's going to happen from it's all still ramifications from the War of the Green Lantern. It's how Boudica's coping with things, which it then leads into other Green Lanterns coping with things. Salak is having a problem, which then goes into Kyle Rayner. And this is going to be a big problem, I believe, that's going to continue into the reboot, because Green Lantern's not going to be touched during this reboot, apparently, except for the costumes. Where the Green Lantern Corps wants no more humans, and they're actually attacking Kyle Rayner. And then it goes into another story really quickly. I can't remember what the other story was. No, I don't think I think that's it. It's Kyle Rayner. 3 separate artists. And then
why would it jump into another story there?
It's not another story. Tomar steps in to protect Kyle and sends Kyle off. And right before there's a fight between Tomar and the other Green Lanterns, the Guardians say there's a crisis going on. Basically, all the stories come together, and they all go all flying off to the rescue.
The end.
The end. This one went out with a bang. This one definitely went out with a huge bang. Really awesome. I love the cover, by the way. Green Lantern's not really going to be touched that much. Maybe a little bit here and there, but not much. So, we'll be bidding the number 63 a farewell for a couple of years. It'll get back to 63 eventually. But we're going to jump right back into the core. At the very moment we're leaving it here. They're not really changing much in Green Lantern at all. I'm just hoping this DC Comics reboot, they realize Jim Lee and everybody else who thinks they're so smart and so high and mighty get off their fucking high horse and realize that this is stupid shit, and they bring back the original continuity. Or maybe this is a big plan. Maybe they want us to hate the new DCU so much that when they bring the classic stuff back, they think we'll buy twice as much. I don't know. I'm hoping that's the case. I just hope it doesn't take them 5 freaking years to figure that out. Now a series that's not going to be coming back after this month. Superman Batman 87, concluding the Secret Story arc. Joker attacks, basically this covers where the whole story begins. Joker attacks Clark Kent, who can't change into Superman at the moment because he's being attacked by Joker. Batman comes to his rescue, excuse me. And Joker still has him as a hostage, so to speak. And Clark doesn't want to give up his real identity, so he goes along with it. Joker jumps off the building, and basically Batman saves Clark so he doesn't have to reveal he's Superman. Clark wraps up Joker. Without Joker knowing it's Clark, it looks like Superman. And it turns out that the guy that's running the newspaper in Gotham, Mr. Maine, which kind of messed up because if you take the M and you turn it upside down, it's Wayne. Kind of found that weird, but anyway, turns out Maine was slipping tips to the Joker, and it turns out the Joker is the true person that killed the reporter from Gotham City from the first issue. And basically, Bruce Wayne takes over the Gotham newspaper and fires Mr. Maine, and it's just like a whole first kind of adventure with Superman and Batman. It was awesome. Artwork was great. I'd absolutely recommend it. I'm just saddened to say that this is the last Superman Batman issue. It died out at 87, didn't even make it to 100. It deserved to make it to 100 and beyond. It had a few hiccups, man. It had maybe 3 or 4 minute stories, like 2-part stories that sucked or were not as good as the rest, but other than that, you got 2 DVDs, already 2 animated movies that came out of Superman Batman, so you know it was a really good series. But unfortunately, at least for now, Superman Batman is
that's the saddest part of the reboot era, that some of these comics getting shelved, no continuity.
This reboot era is ridiculous, preposterous. I'm sorry, I'll be saying that until the day things are fixed. This is the issue that I believe least needed a reboot. And
seems sad, just by looking at it, I can tell.
It pisses me off. I'm looking at this cover, and this is the last time I'm going to see him the right way. I'm putting it that way because this is the right way to depict the character that I'm about to talk about. And they're going to fuck him up starting next month. Superboy number 11 didn't even make it a full year. 1 more issue and he would have made it a full year.
That's bad.
The arc concluded, epically of course, where Phantom Stranger gave Superboy, through one of the people he was possessing, a relic which gave him his powers back. You done? First of all, this is the cover I've been wanting since issue 1, because issue 1, if you saw on my wall, this was the picture that was promoted for issue 1.
Someone shirt you on.
The internal artwork was epic, minus a few hiccups here and there, just a few, not that many. They were still better. They were good.
Nothing's flawless though.
So basically, it's Simon and I want to say Alexandra, but I can't remember. I think it's Alexandra. Either way. Versus the Parasite, and basically they take out the Parasite. It's Superboy and the Phantom Stranger versus Abin and oh god, that guy's name. I hate that guy's name because I can never pronounce it. I'm gonna call him the Wizard because that's what Phantom Stranger calls him. Oh, Tanarak. And basically, Phantom Stranger beats up Tanarak, Superboy beats up Abin. They all get back together, and unfortunately all the souls are trapped, and Psionic Lad, or Scion, however you want to pronounce it, basically saves everybody. The world is safe. They all go back. Phantom Stranger goes off to chase after Tanarak, and it all concludes with the best picture in the world. Everybody chilling out on top. This is where the issue basically began, except now Superboy has his friends with him. And that's it. No more Psionic Lad, no more Adventures in Smallville, because coming next, this is the new Superboy.
No comment.
Oh, I have a lot of comments.
I know you do. I'm not going to say anything. You can take it away with that.
I'm sorry. This was the best Superboy series. I know that Superboy had a series going on, an ongoing going on, since the 90s that ended back in the early 2000s, and this was basically supposed to be his reboot because Avenger Comics, the first 5 issues was Superboy, and they did so good that they gave him back his own ongoing. After the reboot, Superboy is going to lose that Volume 3 really quick, because I'm telling you now, new Superboy sucks. It just does.
You're not even giving it a chance?
I'm buying it, but I know I'm going to be dropping it after issue 1. I am 99.9% sure, because I like this too much. This was the right way. Smallville, Ma Kent raising him, and basically getting him to be the man that Superman was. Yes, I agree, all the superheroes got a little bit too old. You can rewind time a bit, make them a little bit younger, but keep the main stories going on. Like, make the superheroes younger, make Superboy a little bit younger, kill everybody down a bit, you young everybody up a bit. You don't have to restart the whole thing. So, that's it. All of the ongoings except for Action Comics, and I believe, Batman the Dark Knight, which are coming out both next week, are done. One more Superman title to go, and then I'm actually putting a big bookmark between my current Superman comics and the new shit, because if the new shit sucks, it goes out of the box. I put the box, I keep everything nice and cozy, put it up and put it in storage the way it is until they bring back the original Superman, the original Superboy, hell, even bring back the original Supergirl.
Like
I don't care.
Hope it's sooner than later.
A lot of people are saying they're hoping they want this to come so it'll go.
True.
I have news for people though. If this is true, if this is completely serious and they want to push this on us, it's not going to go for a very long time. It's going to be around, dare I say, possibly forever.
One quick question. You think they might be doing this for the newer fans to get like...
Yeah, because the newer kids, because the kids can't get into the old, they claim old stuff because too much backstory. Tough shit. I got into it in 1998. I made it all the way back to 86 to catch up. There are books called the DC Encyclopedia. There's a book called the Superman Encyclopedia. There are books for almost every superhero in the DC universe so that you don't have to go back and buy all those back issues. Get the frickin' encyclopedia. You got his history or her history.
Not to say anything bad, but you know kids. They don't want to do that much research.
They want to make the superheroes look badass. That's the whole point. They're making... This head, the head of DC Comics right now, was an executive head at Marvel. He's basically taking the bright DC universe and making it darker. Like Marvel was, like Marvel still is, where there are periods where the Marvel U looks darker than the DCU. They're darkening up the DCU in hopes that they'll catch all those young readers that love Marvel. Newsflash, not gonna work. You need good stories, not new stories, good stories.
Well, that's the same. They're saying F you to all the older fans that like you.
Yeah, they say you can move on. I've got tons of Marvel comics. I really don't care.
It's not good business.
All I know is, come September, when Superman 1, Action Comics 1, Supergirl 1, and Superboy 1 come out, I'm treating them like I would treat any new series that starts up. If they suck, it is not the Superman I know, it is not the Superboy I know, it's not the Supergirl I know. They will get dropped. Like that.
I don't blame you. Until they pick up again.
Oh, when they pick up again, I'll start picking it up again. I'll start over. But there'll be a huge gap. But that gap will be the gap of shit. That is the gap. I will put a piece of paper and say gap of shit and write down the issues I don't have, and I'll never buy it. Well, maybe I will. Once it's proven it's over, I might buy it, because I didn't like the Electric Superman, said I never buy it. When the Electric series was over, I bought it. So maybe I'll buy the period of shit after the period of shit is over, and we go back to this.
Yeah.
And yes, it is going to have a ramification on the Spider-Man Superboy show. I have a 5-episode arc that's going to take place about this DC comic relaunch and my character along with Amber's character. And everybody, including Spider-Man, has a huge part in that. So let's go through this week. Superboy 11 was awesome. Unfortunately, that's it. They're renumbering it. Superman Batman 87 was awesome. Unfortunately, this is the last issue. Green Lantern Corps ended epically. 63 being renumbered. Supergirl, the story was meh, getting renumbered also. Abin Green Lantern Part 3 of 3. Flashpoint tie-in was the best out of the two this week. Wonder Woman and the Furies, Part 3 of 3 was alright. Marvel, Captain America number 2 was awesome, great artwork. Venom number 6 was awesome, check it out. X-Men Schism Part 3 of 5, an essential for any X-Men fan. It's going pretty well anyway. Uncanny X-Men 542 with the epic surprise at the end where Colossus becomes the new Juggernaut. Spoiler there. I would say check it out. Avengers number 16, Fear Itself tie-in was pretty good. Marvel Universe vs. Wolverine Part 3 of 4, pretty good. Soldier Zero number 11, more of a filler, kind of a lot of talking, not that much action, but still pretty damn good. This is classic Stan Lee and also Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning. Great work on this. I'd say check it out. Walking Dead is pretty much the same walking bore that's been going on the past 5 or 6 issues, in my opinion. I'm sorry, maybe it's just I'm not used to it. When I hear zombie apocalypse, I'm thinking Night of the Living Dead. And check out from Benaroya, even though it says Image on here, from Benaroya Publishing, Marksman number 1. It came out July 20th. And that's it for this week. Also, for those of you who buy from Midtown, where I get all my comics, 2 nice little patches. One is Michael's, one is mine. And once again, the Superman movie crystal, which I am very proud to say I own. That's not part of the real comic review. I have tons of stuff coming this week, guys. I ordered some things from San Diego Comic-Con. Mostly toys, though. Unfortunately, comic-wise, it's very hard to grab anything from San Diego Comic-Con comic-wise. So there'll be reviews on those things. Probably 1 or 2 of them will show up on the next comic book review. I have tons of props I still have to do reviews on. Spider-Man Superboy show. Lots of stuff coming. I'm off for 2 weeks. You can expect a lot coming. There will be a trailer probably for Season 2 Spider-Man Superboy coming up, pardon me, very soon. I'm actually going to have a picture trailer, possibly. And, yeah. And the DC Comic reboot still, in my opinion, is going to suck. I'm praying it doesn't, but I'm 99.9% sure it will. Lois Lane has a boyfriend, and she's not married to Superman.
I can't.
That chuckle says it all.
A lot of people just won't buy the issue as soon as they hear that.
A lot of the old people won't. A lot of new people are going to buy the number 1s. But once it gets, I said this in a past review. I said, here's number 1, number 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, I guess.
You're on the. This is the floor. You can't get any lower than the floor. And then what happens?
They get squashed on the floor. You know.
Marvel's here, DC's still here. What happens?
Marvel. See, price shows that you can't put a price.
I don't care. You know, the whole $2.99 drop was because they were rebooting. It's to keep fans from leaving.
Pretty much.
Smart business, I tell you, man. Smart business. But beside the point, DC hopefully will kick this moron from Marvel out and get back to the way things should be.
Unless, like you said, they have a bigger plan, but I don't see it.
If it's a big plan, they're very smart. They're pissing off all the old people to the point where they'll buy their old stuff when it comes back again. This is the way it should be. This is the way it should be. But it's not. Don't get me wrong. I'm a huge. You know, I bleed DC Comics in my right arm and left arm, and now I bleed Marvel from my left arm and a little bit from my right arm. But I've lived, breathed, and read solely DC since from 1998 all the way through to 2008 or 9. So I know the DC universe from forward and backwards. The Marvel U I'm still learning stuff from. But the DCU I know everything. To see all that change now, you gotta understand where I'm coming from.
Yes, I do. And all the other old school.
Marvel never rebooted. Marvel never rebooted. They've changed characters, they've rewound characters, they've thrown them through what's that guy from Marvel vs. Capcom? What's his name? The skeleton. Dormammu?
Taskmaster?
No.
The skeleton?
The big guy that Kevin likes to play all the time.
Dormammu.
Dormammu, thank you. I can't pronounce him sometimes. Dormammu is the reason why Peter Parker and Mary Jane aren't married anymore. He fudged things up for Spidey. But things are looking up for Spidey now, and his costume's the same.
They didn't reboot it. They're still...
They better not reboot Marvel, that's all I'm saying.
Marvel, don't follow DC in this.
I mean, movie-wise, a little that they're changing costumes.
The movie sucks! The new Spider-Man's gonna suck.
But no, I'm just saying the whole Marvel, just don't. Including the Punisher itself as well with Spider-Man.
Right where you are and do exactly what you've been doing. Don't reboot. Please, for the love of freaking God, don't.
Then I will be upset.
I'm done. I will officially leave comic books as far as the big two are concerned. Speaking of comics, next week, a number one of the 2 or 3 comic series that I've been looking forward to since the beginning of the summer that were announced is coming out. September is another IDW comic that's coming out. September is Ghostbusters. I'm looking forward to that.
I read that one. You got it. It was really good. I like Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it's taking place right after that, as a matter of fact. So Ghostbusters is coming. Next week, another series is coming. I'm very happy. DC is basically throwing everything else out because the last week of August it's only going to be 1 book, and that's Justice League, unless there's 1 or 2 other books that they're going to throw out at the same time. I don't know. FlashPoint's last part's also going to be the last week of August, so maybe it's that Justice League and that's it. I don't know, but I know a lot of their books are done now. They're current day ones. So
they never threw out a date.
Look forward next week. Also, what?
They never threw out a date for the complete reboot on that.
Yeah, the last week of August. Justice League is going to be the very beginning of it all. So we'll see. And with that, guys, that concludes this episode. We've got 6 more to go. 6 more.
For the big 3.
And I'm going to correct myself here. It is not September 24th. It is going to be the weekend of October. It's going to be the last week of September, but my filming is going to be on October 1st. So that's when the official 100th episode of my Dark Avenger comic book review is going to be shot. So anyway, guys, I'll see you guys next week for another Dark Avengers comic book review. We've got comics. We've got a nice other thing that I'll leave as a surprise for next week. And we've got a number 1 coming next week also. So stay tuned, and we will see you. And Mike's actually got Punisher number 2.
Yep, looking forward to it.
But it's next week. So I'll see you guys next week. I'm sweating. I gotta get out of these this hot room. So I'll see you guys next week.
Alright, guys.
I'll see you in the next video. Actually, I actually have a few videos planning to do within the 2 weeks. So see you guys soon.